Everyone, today is Sunday, May 14th, 2023. It's a Sunday and is the Namwon City's 5-day open air market day. So the marketplace was brisk with many people shopping this and that and trying to eat nice food there in the marketplace. There are several cheap food shops that or restaurants. I would say food shops, but yeah, there are good restaurants and shitty restaurants, but they are all basically food shops. So many old people usually were at the marketplace, and my wife and I went to Ponga Myeonok. There's a what is it? 함경 면옥 or 함합 면옥, I forgot. That's North Korean style noodle shop with from different wheat seeds, and we Koreans really like it. Ponga Myeonok is quite a famous one and well established, and you have to line up outside for 20 minutes to get inside and sit down at the table and eat nice noodles and drink what they call the sap of life. Actually, I really like that sap of life. It's quite a unique broth soup that is offered in a liquid form in the jar. So that's or kettle. Jar or kettle, all the same here in Korea. So when you come to visit Gwangju or Namwon City, I really recommend that restaurant for you. But basically, my daughter didn't accompany us, and we didn't talk much inside our car, my car. So I think I thought about our relationship. Mutual relationship, and I thought maybe loveless. So I just pulled up an interesting article from the internet, and this one is from Oprah Daily. I think this site is managed by Oprah Winfrey, the famous counselor, TV celebrity in America. And I haven't read this one. I just wanted there. I have two purposes to read this one. One is to practice English by reading this article with a focus on exact pronunciation, instant understanding while reading, and also instant pickup of new expressions or old expressions, cliches that I already know. I am perfect on TOEIC and TOEFL tests. So basically, there are no unknown cliches, expressions, words that I from the in the article that I read on a daily basis. Another purpose is to understand or pick up knowledge about that subject matter. So it's a dual-pronged approach, or it's like a sword, dual-sided dagger approach. So here I go. Now this one is from Oprah Daily. Our editors handpick the products that we feature. We may earn commission from the links in this page. That's another good expression, man. Yeah. Here, earn commission from the links on this page. We may earn commission from the links on this page. We may earn commission. Commission here is the more like an abstract word, so it doesn't have any plural form commissions or an article, or an. So here we go. 16 unexpected signs you may be in a loveless marriage. And if you are, here's what to do, by Bria Schwartz. Sounds like a German, Australian, published August 16th, 2019, or Jewish, I don't know, Schwartz. Sounds like German. I don't know. Regardless of how long you've been together, there might come a time when the mere sight of your partner will make you want to lock yourself in the bathroom indefinitely. It rings a bell. But if you think that feeling can disappear with a simple text from the other room, sometimes all it takes is a wine glass emoji. Then the odds are your tiff isn't a symptom of an unraveling relationship, and you can have a happy union. That's interesting expression. From the other room, disappear. Simple text. Sometimes all it takes is a wine glass emoji. Then that's another cliche. The odds are your tiff isn't a symptom of an unraveling relationship. The odds are your tiff, unsatisfactory action or anger, isn't or what you call a trait, symptom. I forgot the word. The young child shows this kind of trait. Tantrum. Yeah, tantrum. A tiff isn't a symptom of an unraveling relationship, and you can have a happy union. But determining the difference between a standard rough patch and persisting problem that has you wondering if it's a normal to hate your husband or wife isn't always so simple, or sometimes they say isn't always so clear. These are the signs that you might be in a loveless marriage, plus tips on what to do if you are interested in trying to restore it. Loveless marriage. So we learned that the odds are that your thief is not unraveling relationship, right? Rough patch, the odds, earned commission. You have physical symptoms, unhappy, different pronunciation. Let me go over it one more time. Unhappy marriage chronically feels bad. It's like a cold that lingers, leaving you drained and vulnerable, explains Paul Hockmeyer, JD, PhD. Symptoms can include severe headaches, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, neck and back pain. Many of my patients who suffer from depression claim they are constantly fatigued, while those who have anxiety report insomnia. I even treated one middle-aged woman who carried such anger towards her husband that she often felt her skin was crawling with ants. Damn! She often felt her skin was crawling with ants. Maybe tingly sensation, an itchy sensation on her skin. That's bad. At least one of you is kind of acting like asshole. In his over 40 years of research, Dr. John Gottman, psychological researcher and author, The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, found that couples in lasting relationships have 5 positive interactions for every negative one. 5 to 1. Oh, by the way, if you hear the howling sound or echoing sound, don't blame me. I'm in my bathroom taking a bath, leisurely bath, in the evening, Sunday evening, because I'm trying to unwind and then rewind after this bath by trying to study more, and before I go back to work tomorrow morning. He calls this the magic ratio. And Robin Milhausen, PhD, Associate Chair, Department of Family Relations and Applied Nutrition at the University of Guelph, suggests asking yourself how many of your conversations are ripe with barbs and snark. How many of your conversations are ripe with barbs and snark? I've never heard of the snark, but I guess it's more like tangled knots maybe. Barbs is a sharp razor blades or sharp pins on the barbed wire. So barbs, thorny stuff, and snark maybe hitched knot. If you are snapping or barking at, if you are snapping at each other more often than not, she says it's likely time to do something reflecting. Snapping at each other. So let's remember this. Snapping at each other, barbs and snark, ripe. If many of your conversations are ripe, that's another good term, ripe with barbs and snark. Interestingly, snark is singular, so I guess maybe barbs and hurt, I don't know. Let's find that out. It's bugging me out, so snark. I think I never heard of the word before, snark. Yeah, web dictionaries. I would go for dictionary.com. Snark.
Snark.
Mysterious imaginary animal. Snark. First recorded in 1876, coined by Lewis Carroll in his poem The Hunting of the Snark. Interesting. Snark. So let's go back and find that out. Here, you and snark. Image, picture takes is worth than 1,000 words. That's Korean proverb. An imaginary animal used to refer to someone or something that is difficult to track down. Pinning down the middle classes is like a hunting of the snark. What is it? The Irish short man, what's his name? Maybe he's a Chantran, I don't know, snark. Ooh, snark. Snark. Okay, I don't know. Don't want to know about it. You are constantly criticizing your partner or vice versa. We all get cranky. Hello, would it kill you to choose the restaurant for once? But we need to determine if your frustration is stemming from an actual lack of respect for your plus one, or if you are just having a bad day. Those are good cliches. You are having a bad day. Having a bad day was stemming from an actual lack of respect for your plus one. Your plus one, stemming from. If you find yourself using terms like never and always, as in you never help me clean, or you always forget to help, you are not just criticizing your partner, you are assassinating their character. That's another good term. Stemming from your lack of respect for your plus one, your significant other, respect for your plus one, or if you are just having a bad day, you are assassinating their character. The way you criticize is the first thing to look out for. Of course, we are all going to complain, but there are ways to complain that aren't personal attacks. Instead, she suggests making an effort to use I messages like I feel neglected when you care more about Reddit than what I have to say. Instead of you are a terrible listener, use I. Okay, I got it. I will use I. I am hurt. I feel pissed off. You stop turning towards each other. I agree. Couples who have unresolved, persistent conflict, I used to have one, and a pattern of low-grade hostility even when they are not fighting, quickly stop viewing the other person as a source of comfort, support, or partnership. They stop treating each other like friends, planning fun things, confiding in each other, sharing their feelings, or even talking about their day. They pull back, often due to a realistic fear of being rejected or attacked if they are too vulnerable, says Dr. Lisa Mary Bobby, PhD, licensed psychologist and marriage and family therapist and author of Exaholics, Breaking Your Addiction to an Ex-Love, Exaholics, rejected, attacked. Planning fun things, that's good, cliche too. Planning fun things, fun things, confiding in each other, sharing their feelings, or even talking about their day. They pull back. That's another good expression. They pull back. Maybe all the problems stemming from the lack of respect. They have to plan fun things, confide in each other, or talk about their feelings. There's a whole lot of contempt. When you roll your eyes more than a twin does at a bad dad joke, and you respond to each other with a sarcasm, no, not the funny John Oliver kind. Your marriage might be in trouble, says Milhausen. She adds that contempt usually stems from a relationship rupture, infidelity, secrecy, or another transgression. Relationship rupture, that's another good term. Relationship fucked up, or relationship problem, or relationship rupture, or relationship hiccup, or relationship snark. Relationship barbs and snark. Twin, what is twin? I'll look it up later. Twin. Roll your eyes more than a twin does at a bad dad joke. Oh, twin. What twin does? You respond to each other with a sarcasm. Contempt is hard to come back from, she explains. It's not ethical to behave in hurtful, cruel ways with your partner, and you shouldn't be treated that way either. If you are willing to work through the issue that's at the root of this disgust, there's a hope. It's here is just abstract word, so no singular, no plural forms. There's a hope. Milhausen says, there's a hope. But remember, earn commission. You can't cure contempt without discovering what it started it. You cannot cure contempt. Interesting. Once respect is gone, you lose the foundation to rebuild your relationship. Your partner is always on the defensive. Whenever you raise a concern, does your significant other immediately throw back an excuse without taking responsibility for anything? That's another indication that your marriage might not last, says Milhausen. You need everyone at the table acknowledging their own part in the problems, acknowledging their own part. When you are defensive, there's nowhere to build. When you are defensive, there's nowhere to build. You need everyone at the table acknowledging their own part in the problems. You need everyone at the table acknowledging their own part in the problems. Or they are withdrawn. If your partner isn't willing to talk about your difficulties, then you won't be able to fix them. Solving problems takes work, which means both team members need to contribute. Even if you perceive one person to be at fault for your issues, at fault for your issues, at fault, at the root of the problem, at the root of the disgust. You need to decide whether you are invested enough to resolve what's broken, says Milhausen. Invested enough. You are avoiding each other. Do you find yourself lingering longer at the office than you have to, or spending extra time aimlessly roaming the aisles of the Target just so you don't have to go home? When you are supposed to be enjoying a Netflix binge, are you both zoning out on your phones or going to bed at different times? You both zoning out on your phones, zone out. You are zoning out on your phones, that's good expression. You just walk out. Or you just avoid the same zone where your partner is located. So you pretend to talk on your phone and walk out of the zone, or you just use the phone and walk out of the zone. Zoning out on your phone, zoning out on your phone, zoning out on your phones. These could be subconscious signals that you are unsatisfied, says relationship therapist and sex researcher Sarah Hunter Murray, PhD. Zoning out on your phones, roaming aimlessly, roaming the aisles of Target. Not me. Nope, it's not just about how much sex you are having either. While most satisfied couples do have sex somewhat regularly, whether that means once a week or every few weeks, the key component is not how often couples have sex, but whether both partners are in agreement about the frequency. Murray says, if you are each comfortable having sex once every few months, that doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the relationship as long as you are connecting in other ways. Read, don't underestimate the power of a good cuddle. Don't estimate the power of a good cuddle. Cuddle, right? Hugging, cuddle. Spooning, maybe. Cuddle. Or in the American football, it says cuddle and embracing and scrum, right? Escape fantasies start. Yep. Once I retire, I would like to go over to China and work there or travel there for 1 year. Then maybe for another 2 or 3 years, maybe pick berries, strawberries, or nuts in California, in Alberta, Canada, or Australia, or in New Zealand. Then I would come back to Korea and live forever. I don't know if that counts as an escape fantasy. When the relationship conflict isn't resolved and becomes increasingly toxic, people start to feel helpless. You don't know how it will change and can't see a path forward. So instead of communicating, you begin thinking about how else you can resolve the problem. Often the easiest answer seems to be to disengage. It is not actually that easy to divorce, as many couples come to find later. You may start to fantasize about what life would be like if you lived apart. The vacations you'd take, the way you'd spend your time, how you'd parent alone. These daydreams often make people feel a little excited and hopeful, in contrast to the anger and hopelessness they feel about their marriage. Bobby explains, if the relationship is truly in a bad way, often couples will look to milestones like the kids being out of the house as the point where they can finally be released. Other people wait for financial circumstances like a new job or a certain amount in savings or other material securities to come to fruition. However, they are counting down the days before the key unlocks the door that swings open towards freedom, Bobby says. Swings open towards freedom. The key unlocks the door that swings open towards freedom. And arguing stops. Couples who care still fight. Counterintuitive but true, says Bobby. Interestingly, when relationships are at death's door, fighting often stops. There is no longer active conflict because people have given up believing that change is possible. They have been hurt, frustrated, and disappointed so often that they have gotten the message it doesn't matter what they do or say, so they stop. As does connection in general. Do you essentially feel numb in a loveless marriage? Conflict and active hostility are replaced by a frosty calm. Conflict and active hostility are replaced by a frosty calm. That's another good term, good expression. Conflict and active hostility are replaced by a frosty calm. Conflict and active hostility are replaced by a frosty calm. People say please and thank you, and they work as functional teams to parent and maintain a home, but they themselves are no longer part of the equation in an emotional sense, explains Bobby. They no longer put in an effort to be friends, show vulnerability, or give or receive compassion. Their partner has, on an emotional level, become the equivalent of a potentially unstable roommate that is best avoided. New unstable roommate. New negative narratives appear. Once a couple is past a certain point of damage, they develop different and permanent stories about each other and about the relationship itself, says Bobby. For example, they start attributing their relationship problems to an enduring character trait of their partner, like they are narcissists or emotionally unstable because of their family. In their mind, their partner becomes an intrinsically flawed person who isn't able to love or ever have a healthy relationship. It rings a bell. I feel I'm a flawed person, and also I feel my wife is a flawed person who isn't able to love or ever have a healthy relationship. I think I'm kind of intrinsically calm person, intrinsically flawed person. That's another good expression. Unintrinsically flawed person. Unintrinsically flawed person. Furthermore, the way they think about the entirety of their relationship changes. If asked to tell the story of us, they will often begin by focusing on negative aspects Yeah, I just poured the water, warm water over my head with a lard ladle. Yeah, I have a ladle, plastic ladle for bathroom. If asked to tell the story of us, they will often begin by focusing on aspects of their early partnership, the red flags they see in retrospect instead of the sweet anecdote about when they initially locked eyes on each other. Bobby explains the red flags locked their eyes on initially when they initially locked eyes on each other, locked eyes on each other, locked eyes on each other. That's good expression. Locked here, initially locked their eyes on red flags. Okay. You feel more like yourself when you're apart. Exactly. I feel serene, calm, and powerful, or everything is under my control when I am alone, when I am apart. As you grow more distant and change your fundamental perspective of each other, there might be a sense of repulsion, or at the very least, discomfort. When you are together, you may feel like yourself when you are away. Yeah, I feel like myself. I feel like myself when I am away. You may feel like yourself when you are away, be it at work, with friends, or even alone. Exactly, be it at work, with friends, or even alone. Let me remember this sentence, right? You may feel like yourself when you're alone, be it at works, with friends, or even alone. Be it at work, with friends, or even alone. When your partner comes back into the picture, it's like putting on an itchy sweater. You are inhibited, careful, wary, and uncomfortable, says Bobby. You are working around each other instead of with each other. In early states of relationship distress, couples may have fought for change, implored each other to see their point of view, and at least attempted a compromise. When a relationship is in the final stages of coming apart, people simply do their own thing without regard for what their partner might want or prefer. They make plans without checking in. They make large purchases without consent. They parent unilaterally. If they believe their partner will be unhappy with their decisions, they conceal them, explains Bobby. Wow, I feel guilty. Yes, I make plans without checking in. I make large purchases without consent. I parent unilaterally. I feel really guilty here. I make plans without checking in. Buy large things. Make large purchases without consent. And I parent unilaterally. Exactly. I parent unilaterally. If they believe their partner will be unhappy with your decisions, they conceal them. Explains Bobby, conceal them. This is good. They make plans without checking in. They make large purchases without consent. They parent unilaterally. But take your circumstances into account. Ask yourself if your behavior or your spouse's is stemming from a particular stressor in your lives, like having to care for a sick parent. If that's the case, go a little easy on yourself and your mate. You might just be using your relationship as an outlet, says Murray. On the other hand, if everything else in your life seems fine, but you are still not at ease with your partner, it could be a signal that something in your relationship needs addressing. If that's the case, go a little easy on yourself and your partner. If that's the case, go a little easy on yourself and your partner. Go a little easy on yourself and partner. Go a little easy on yourself and partner. Go a little easy on yourself and partner. You may see new sides of your partner in times of extreme stress. Milhausen adds, if you can give your partner the benefit of the doubt while you are navigating this tough time, then there is a hope. Here, another singular. But if you don't consider the contextual factors which might be triggering their behavior and you believe their actions are the result of a flawed personality trait, that's problematic. Their actions are the result of their flawed character trait, flawed personality trait. The result of a 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 flawed personality trait. So, can you fix your marriage? Yes, but first you have to fix yourself. Work on your own mental health, advises Marie. Our relationships can be an outlet where we unleash our frustrations and anger on our most important, safest person. Make sure that you are doing your own work to keep your anxiety, stress, and anger in check. Keep your anxiety, stress, and anger in check. Keep your anxiety, stress, and anger in check. Keep something in check. Go a little easy on yourself. Find what helps you, whether that's exercise, meditation, that is, if you have the patience, or a poignant self-help book. If you are functioning at your best, you will have a clearer mind to decide if this relationship has a future or not, she says. It takes motivation, of course. You can try communicating with or without a therapist, but if your heart's not in it anymore, there's no quick and easy fix. If your partner's touch makes you recoil, a date night won't make that better, says Milhausen. A date night won't make that better. A date night. Not all marriages are meant to be forever, and that's okay. No matter what, don't equate your unhappiness with failure. Not all relationships are meant to be forever. In fact, most are not. Milhausen says, we grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. We grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us, dished out at us, or thrown at us. The challenges thrown at us. We grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. It's unrealistic that the person we meet when you are 20 is going to be the person we need at 50. Though this initially might sound pretty bleak, terrible, hopeless, dark, barren, Milhausen adds, relationships can bring something great to our lives, even if it's only for a certain period of time. You get to make memories, experience deep love, and when that ends, you can move on to feel that way with another partner who will meet your new needs. And don't forget, you can also do just fine all by yourself. That's another good expression. Bachelor, single. And don't forget, you can also do just fine. You can also do just fine all by yourself. All by yourself. All by yourself. All by yourself. You can just do okay. You can just do fine. You can do just fine. You can do just fine all by yourself. You can also do just fine all by yourself. Bria Schwartz, deputy editor, OprahDaily.com. Bria Schwartz is an editor, writer, and content strategist. Content strategist. She's covered beauty, fashion, relationships, health, travel, Disney, decorating, DIYs, food, booze, and everything in between. And everything in between. That's another good cliche. And everything in between. Everything in between. Everything in between. She was most recently the deputy editor of Oprah Daily, where she helped bring the mission of guiding readers to live their best life to the virtual pages. Her writing has appeared in Good Housekeeping, Glamour, Cosmopolitan, Delish, Country Living, Esquire, Elle, Marie Claire. Full bio. I'm getting interested. I like Bria Schwartz. I really appreciate your contribution to my reading and for general prosperity of people and their happiness. So no, the site can be reached. What happened? No internet? What the? I have a 100 mega BPS fiber, so 5 gigahertz. Yep, I'm in the bathroom, so I'll just tab on park 2 gigahertz. Yes, it's a low frequency band, but it can have refraction and swerve and behave like a fluid. Yep, here, let's go back and check out the Bria Schwartz, a bio more. Come on, man. Where are you at? That's it? Read the full bio. Thanks, Bria Schwartz, one more time. 17, okay. The Spruce Women's Day, Women's Health and Men's Health. Good reading. Deputy editor, Oprah. So let me go back and find out what expressions I learned without looking up the content one more time. Is stemming from the result of mutual animosity. There was no word such as animosity or a flawed personality trait. A flawed personality trait, or go a little easy on you and yourself. And what else? You maybe just go fine. You maybe do just fine all by yourself. You may do just fine. You may do just fine all by yourself. What else? The flawed personality attacks. Feeling weird, negative narratives, snark, barbs and snark, bleak. We just saw the word bleak, trait. Okay. See, I lose about 80% of what I have try to remember. I only remember 20%, but now let's go back and pick out the expressions. We can grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. We may grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. Wine glass emoji, happy union. Rough patch, persisting mess, persisting problem. Yeah, I've done an avatar course. Physical symptoms. It's like a cold that lingers, leaving you drained and vulnerable. Diarrhea, constipation, nausea, neck and back pain. Yep, there's a hope. There's a hope. There's hope. Her skin was crawling with ants. Her psychological researcher, magic ratio. If you are snapping at each other more often than not, meditation, criticizing, never always. You are assassinating their character. You are assassinating their character. You are assassinating their character. I stop treating each other like friends. Rejected, attacked if they are too vulnerable. Contempt, sarcasm, bad dad joke, sarcasm stems from a relationship rupture. It stems from that contempt usually stems from a relationship rupture. Contempt usually stems from a relationship rupture. Contempt usually stems from a relationship rupture. There's a hope. On the defensive. If you are defensive, you need everyone at the table acknowledging their own part in the problems. You need everyone at the table acknowledging their part in the problems. You need everyone at the table acknowledging their own part in the problems. Withdrawn, if they are invested enough to resolve what's broken. Avoiding each other. Netflix binge. Nope. Frequency with the rich. Don't estimate the power of a good cuddle. Don't underestimate the power of a good cuddle. Here is a singular, good cuddle. Okay? Don't underestimate the power of a good cuddle. Don't estimate the power of a good cuddle. Escape fantasies. Daydreams. Look to milestones. The couples will look to milestones. Circumstances, financial circumstances. They are counting down the days before the key unlocks the door that swings open towards freedom. They are counting down the days before the before the key unlocks the door that swings open towards freedom. They are counting down the days before the key unlocks the door that swings open towards freedom. And the arguing stops. So the connection also stops in general. Do you essentially feel numb, loveless marriage? Compassion. Negative narratives. They are narcissists. Sweet anecdote. Sweet anecdote about when they initially locked eyes on each other. Locked eyes on each other. They initially locked eyes on each other. They initially locked eyes on each other. They initially locked eyes on each other. The sweet anecdote about when they initially locked eyes on each other. Locked their eyes in each other. You may feel like yourself. 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 Itchy sweater, putting on an itchy sweater. Itchy sweater. Walking around. You make plans without checking in and make large purchases without consent. And you parent unilaterally. Make plans without checking in, make large purchases without consent, and you parent unilaterally. You parent unilaterally. That's who I am. Not at ease with your partner. If you are still not at ease with your partner, you are still not at ease with your partner. The benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt. Just hold on to your negative assault until something is finished, until something is found, such and such. The benefit of the doubt. A flawed personality trait. A flawed personality trait. Poignant self-help book. We grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. We grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. Initially sound pretty bleak. It sound pretty bleak. It might sound though this initially might sound pretty bleak. Okay, so let me go back and try to remember what I try to remember. Initially, these may sound so bleak. These sound so bleak. We grow and change based on the challenges that are thrown at us. If you are still not at ease with each other, if you are still not at ease with yourself, you feel like yourself. You may feel like yourself. You may feel like yourself. Turmoil, contempt, unleashed. Yep, they make plans. They make plans without checking in. They make large purchases without consent, and they parent unilaterally. Recoil, contempt. The benefit of doubt. They don't lock eyes. The sweet anecdote when they locked eyes on each other. There's a hope. There's hope stemming from. See, now I remember like 40% or 50% of what I started out to remember. What else? Basically, there's a hope. Guilty. You feel. Yep. You need both at the table, acknowledging their part in the problems. You need both at the table, acknowledging their part in the problems. it becomes problematic, defensive, negative narratives. Wow. So, well, that's it. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye bye.